Republican Senator Rand Paul. This time he's been implicated as one of the politicians that has been taking millions and millions and billions of dollars in bribes from who? The corrupt Maduro regime.
Senator, have you seen the video?
I have seen the video.
You have seen the classified video?
No, I've just seen what's been available in the media.
Okay.
I've read.
Could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also, as Minnesotans, as taxpayers.
All but 8 are of Somali descent, and that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on.
Why is it never the working American who gets put first? Why is it always the people who weren't supposed to be here? Why is it billionaires? Why is it Congress? Why is the narco cartels? And why, no matter what happens, does the blue-collar worker always get told to sacrifice more? You've got Congresswoman Ilhan Omar here that has just flipped the script. Now the Somali people, the Somali criminals, they're the victims for this $1 billion in fraud? When did the men and women who built this country stop being the priority? The people who pay the taxes, work the long shifts, raise the families, and keep the lights on. Somehow they're always last in line when accountability, protection, and justice are handed out. And today that frustration collides with two very political different stories happening at the exact same time. Ilhan Omar is responding to the fallout from this massive fraud and the case that tied to her home state. And a little later on, we've got Rand Paul is suddenly facing new scrutiny over Venezuela. Two sides of Washington, two separate controversies, same exact week. One big question sitting right in the middle of it all. Who is the system really working for anymore?
A possible link. He said they're just now beginning to look into it. How confident are you that that's a false claim?
I'm pretty confident at the moment because there are people who have been prosecuted and who have been sentenced. That is a failure of the FBI and our court system.
So now she's going to blame the FBI, the same FBI that hid everything around that guy that put the device there. The FBI under Joe Biden. She giggles about this, about money, fraudulent, scammed money that is stolen from the American taxpayer with ties to a group that wants to do horrible things to people here in America. Who is this lady working for? Who's she working for? Who is she being paid by? Who is her priority? Because it doesn't sound like the United States of America, the citizens who are rightfully here, it doesn't sound like that's her priority.
Basically, charging them with these charges.
Yeah, because it's been recently discovered that we're sending $40 million a week to the Taliban. Let that sink in, Ilhan. Who is this lady working for? That's the question I want to ask you. I read all the comments. Leave a comment down below. It's only getting worse.
Because, as you know, one of the initial defenses by the organization at the heart of the fraud, Feeding Our Future, was to claim the probe was due to racism. Do you think that this was all about negligence or that it was like political fear of alienating the Somali community?
So it was a white Karen that set this all up? I hate to agree with her, but I actually believe that part. I really do. Because I think some of the white liberal women here in the United States have been the problem that has really magnified everything. They have absolutely helped destroy what is going on. And I agree with this lady. I don't want to agree with her, but she's probably right.
Of making sure that this would continue to happen by using whatever rhetoric that was available to her. We do know that when the money was stopped, they did sue the AG, Attorney General Keith Ellison.
So she just threw Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, and the attorney general both under the bus. She just said they both knew about it. She blamed white Caucasian liberal women. So once again, I ask the question, who's she working for? She just threw all the Karens under the bus. And in Somalia, the buses will carry about 8,000 people. People ride on the roof. So that's a heavy one.
I want to ask you about something else that the architect of the president's immigration policy, Stephen Miller, said.
I mean, when I think about Stephen Miller and his white supremacist rhetoric.
There you go. They go back to the same old thing. Nazis, white supremacist. The other R word, not the one they're driving by Governor Tim Walz's house and yelling at him. No, the R word, racist. That's what they go for. They always use that method. I'll ask you once again, who's pulling the strings? Who are they working for? Who are they being paid by? This is a sitting member of Congress from Minnesota with Somali fraud. She turned the fraud into the Somali people are the victims. She then throws the Karens under the bus because they're Caucasian. Then she throws Governor Tim Walz and the Attorney General under the bus. There's no way that she's responsible. And then it all boils down to Stephen Miller. He's the R word. He's the brown shirt. Leave a comment down below. What do you think should happen to this lady? Should she be impeached? Should be investigated? Should Tim Walz, should the Attorney General Keith Ellison be impeached, removed from office? It's only getting worse for Minnesota. If you live there, I'm really sorry for you, but you need to lace them up. And you need to start kicking butt there. Get some steel-toe boots and really get to work. Here's the ethnicity of people receiving benefits here in the United States by race. 45% of Afghan refugees are receiving taxpayer-funded food. Somalis, 42%. Iraqis, 34%. Haitians, a mere 23%. The cats and dogs in certain communities are probably the reason that number is lower. But this is the people, or these are the people that we have imported. We have put them all ahead of you, the blue-collar American people. And that's just the way it is. And you better realize it quick. If you're not, if you don't understand your order or your level in the pecking order, you're going to be disappointed.
I've talked to several state and local officials who've said that the number of Somali immigrants who are living in the U.S. illegally there is very, very small, and that this is about scaring people more than it is about arresting criminals.
Well, we're just starting, and I disagree. The fact that people, even we don't know how many illegal Somalis there are, because remember, in the last 4 years in Joe Biden, there's over 2 million gotaways.
CNN got the talking orders from Ilhan. The Somalis in Minnesota are now the victim. They're scared. They're scared to go to, I would say, work, but most of them probably don't. And she's saying the numbers aren't real. Tom Homan confirmed it. We don't know how many people are there. This is the border czar. He doesn't even know how many people that shouldn't be here are here because of the previous administration. That's the big problem here in this conversation. And Dana Bash with CNN, I hate to say it, but she did a really good job of emphasizing the whole point that Biden allowed people to come in unfettered, unregulated, unaccounted for, unaccountable. She did a great job. CNN, well done. I got to give you a huge boom shakalaka, Dana Bash. Thank you. You made our point.
Children that weren't even being looked for under the Biden administration. President Trump saved over 62,000 children's lives.
62,000 children have been found under the current administration. There are hundreds of thousands more that are still missing, but 62,000 is a damn good start. And Tom Homan, I got to salute you. And I would say if you start looking in some of these migrant communities, you're going to find more. Now, the other big story that I want to talk about a little bit here is Senator Rand Paul. And Senator Rand Paul's out of Kentucky. His neighbor beat him up a few years ago, and I can understand why. But Senator Rand Paul has consistently voted with the Democrats more often than not, along with Congressman Massey out of Kentucky and Mitch McConnell, senator out of Kentucky. Kentucky's got some real problems. But now there is evidence, there's alleged information coming out that ties Senator Rand Paul into the Venezuelan regime. Rand Paul has been implicated, allegedly, as one of the politicians been taking millions from the Maduro regime. Kentucky Senator has been named as a central figure on a reported Venezuelan list of U.S. politicians. So he's not the only one. And we knew there would be more receiving multi-million-dollar payments from Nicolas Maduro's regime. Narco-trafficking networks, according to a high-ranking Venezuelan government defector, a whistleblower. We all love whistleblowers. Cited in intelligence circles. Source alleges that Paul has accepted bribes in exchange for political actions meant to undermine the current sitting president. It's all starting to come clear. Who sang the song, I Can See Clearly Now? The rain is gone. I think the pain is gone now. But this is all good. This is a whistleblower. We have to believe all whistleblowers, believe all victims. Paul received seven-figure payments funneled through the intermediaries. Payments started years ago, intensified, allegedly. Paul has publicly opposed the operations for the drug boats, the narco boats. He has repeatedly accused Pete Hegseth of authorizing potential war crimes. It's all starting to make sense now, isn't it?
To all my Kentucky cousins out there, what in the world is going on in the Bluegrass State? Guess who made the news again? None other than Republican Senator Rand Paul. This time he's been implicated as one of the politicians that has been taking millions and millions and billions of dollars in bribes from who? The corrupt Maduro regime. This is all according to a top-ranking government source. Let's talk about it, right? Republican Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has been named as a central figure on the reported quote-unquote Venezuela list of top United States politicians allegedly receiving multi-million-dollar payments from who? Nicolas Maduro's regime and, of course, the narco-trafficking networks in and around Venezuela. This is all according to a high-ranking Venezuelan government official.
Now, this is all alleged. Nothing can be confirmed. We're just asking questions here, right? We're just asking questions. I want to go back to my beginning sort of rant. My questions at the top of the show. Why is it the American people, the blue collar workers, why are you never considered the victims? Why is it always members of Congress, billionaires, the narco cartels? No matter what happens, why is it the blue collar workers always get told, work more, pay more taxes, sacrifice more, and you get less? When did the men and women who built this country stop being the number one priority? I just laid it all out for you. It doesn't get any clearer. And now Senator Rand Paul will probably use this as a method to either try to impeach Donald Trump, number one, or fundraise off of being a victim. He will take that road.
What's telling here is to try to imply that somehow President Trump is soft on drug smuggling like we've never seen before. And the fact is, these cartels now, because the southern border is closed, they've gone to the high seas. So President Trump is acting with his core Article 2 powers. No serious legal expert would doubt that the president has authority to blow narco terrorists out of the water.
He brings it up. This is Senator Eric Schmidt, former Navy SEAL. So he knows a little bit about what he's talking about. We close the border. The path of least resistance then becomes the ocean. Trump has put the United States Navy, about 28% of the United States Navy's fleet in the Caribbean, to find and sink these narco boats that are not hauling luggage. They have big bags of you know exactly what, and they're getting blown out of the sky. But the Democrat Party, including Rand Paul, is now saying that this is a war crime. You've got Senator Tammy Duckworth admitting exactly what we knew, and she doesn't know anything.
Senator, have you seen the video?
I have seen the video, and it is deeply disturbing. I am mostly concerned with the fact that we are putting our American servicemen and women in jeopardy here.
I just want to make sure that that I get this accurate. You have seen the classified video of this particular strike, the first strike, and then the double tap, as it's known.
No, I've just seen what's been available in the media.
Okay.
I've read the full report, but I've not seen the actual video.
Oh, so she's only seen what's been available in the video or in the media, the same stuff we have. But at the beginning of the clip, she said she saw this video. Are you seeing now how this works? It's a complete narrative. The narco cartels are the victims. The Somali fraudsters are the victims. Rand Paul and the people that are funneled money, allegedly, by the Maduro regime, they're the victims. Guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. The American people, the blue-collar workers, you are always going to be put last, or it damn sure feels like it. For once, we have a president that's starting to put you first, and that's a real shock to the system. It's not supposed to work like that. The government has been working against us for the better part of 50 years. And now suddenly we have a president that is putting the American people first. And it's all wrong. It's a bad idea. And it's disrupting the entire system. It's disrupting the flow of cash. It's disrupting some of the grift that these people have accumulated and the riches that they've accumulated for themselves. If you like this type of content, smash the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. Check out my sponsors down below. Big shout out to Keen Greens. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Go check out my other channel, The Fence Sitter, if you want something a little off the beaten path.